This here is the Omega XL, the ultimate paddle for serious pickleball play. What? This isn't it? Oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. Sorry about that. There we go. Well, honestly, they feel about the same. So, the name is cool. The color is cool. Is it the right paddle for you? I can already tell you that it's not the right paddle for me. Selkirk has two brands. They have Selkirk itself and then the SLK. The SLK seems to be for lower priced paddles with the Halo and the Omega at the top for $140. The Omega series has both a Max and an XL edition. Same price, but the Max is wider and shorter. Now you can see the face width of the Max is 7.85 versus the 7.4 of the XL, and the Max face length is 16 versus the 16.4 of the XL. The XL has the 5 3/4 inch grip, which is a good length for me. I like two-handed backhands, and this feels pretty good, but the grip itself, it's kind of sticky. Like, as if when I had it leaning against the wall back there, I came over to pull it off, it like detached. You know, you can feel like when you feel something sticky against it, you pull it off and it kind of sticks. Didn't love that. GC9 Flex dual carbon and fiberglass face. Sounds super high tech, but what does it really mean? That's a good question. And it was really hard to find out, honestly. As I went and did research, I really had a tough time discovering it. After some digging, it's clear that this dual carbon is a mix of carbon fiber and fiberglass, like the Eula Hyperion, but with its own twist. Here, the GC9 is a mystery component that's left me puzzled. Now, like we said, this combines the carbon fiber and the fiberglass, similar to the Eula Hyperion. You can find more about that right here. We did a review on it last week. Check it out. It's actually kind of interesting to compare the two because the price tag is pretty much the same. So check them out. Does this Fusion offer power and control? That's the promise. And for spin, we clocked it at roughly 1384 RPM at full speed. That's pretty close to the Hyperion, which came in at 1391, and frankly, I was kind of impressed by it. The surface feels smoother and doesn't have that carbon abrasion surface that the Hyperion has, so I was kind of impressed that it could even generate the same amount of spin. The core is thin on this guy. It's a half-inch core, or I think it's 12.7 millimeters. The Omega XL, it's on the thinner side, and you can definitely feel and hear it, especially after a few hard swings. It's the paddle where I really felt like my arm was doing the work. Like, you know, you hear about how your arm can get tired if you keep swinging. That's kind of what I felt when I played with this. And I don't really understand how this works, since it's supposed to be a power paddle, but I really had to swing it to push the ball hard. The core is called the rev-core power polymer core. It's bizarre to me. I don't know what that means exactly. I really couldn't find out, but it feels like a chunk of wood. And it feels like it when you're hitting, it feels like you're hitting with a piece of wood. And the funny thing is, the Halo XL has the exact same core, except for you would just replace the power with control, the rev-core control polymer core. So they're the same, but they feel so much different. Like, they feel different when you hit them. In fact, listen to this sound test. Ouch, right? Like, the Omega XL just sounds like a piece of wood. The Omega, again, it has that thinner core, 12.7 millimeters, and again, thinner typically means it's more of a power paddle and less of a control paddle, and that's kind of what I felt. When I was hitting it, I felt like I couldn't really get the dinks to where I wanted to go to the certain spots. When we went to the speed test, it maxed at 56 miles per hour and averaged at 53.5. Again, I know this isn't objective. It's dependent upon my arm that day. Maybe it's hitting better, maybe it's hitting worse. But when I kept comparing it to the Eula Hyperion, it just felt worse. The price tag was similar. The Eula Hyperion, I could hit harder, I could spin more, I had more control, and the prices are the same. And the thickness is the same. Honestly, this felt like just like an older style paddle, but the price is still the same. When we went to the pop test, it measured lower than the Eula Hyperion. It only got to 10 inches on my measurement here, compared to 10 3/4 from the Eula Hyperion. And the Invicta Power Air popped to 10.5. So if you're talking about pop, I don't feel like the Omega XL had it. So, is the Omega XL a big deal? No, not quite. Not for me. With the price tag at where it was, it felt worse than my Amazon paddle, the Neopipo. This is not something I would choose for me. It felt like an older paddle and one that maybe would have been designed years ago, but the price tag still is remaining high. I'm kind of curious if you've used this paddle, if this is something that you use often, why you like it. And I'm not even criticizing, I'm more curious. Like, what drives this paddle for you that makes it so compelling? Because to me, it did not feel great. Anyway, if this has been helpful at all, hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you later.